Good evening, this is the Northern Sun Experience. I'm David Brown, and championship season is finally upon us. 2 conference tournaments finished things up over the weekend, while another one is just getting started. We'll start things off in Wayne, Nebraska, where the annual cross-country championships were held on Saturday. More than 200 runners between the men's and women's divisions. We'll start in the men's division, where it was Sioux Falls' Bobby Brockmuller coming in ahead of a trio of Augustana finishers. The Cougar senior finishes the 8K with a time of 25:11:17, and after the race he talked about his strategy for winning.
I let someone else lead into the last hill, and then with about, I'd say, 600 to go, I was feeling really good, and it was kind of a downhill, so I got up right beside Adam Brown, who was leading at that point, and then I just kind of decided to take off and see if they could stay with me, and I was fortunate enough to hold off the win.
Let's go to the women's side of things. 117 competitors in this one. A big battle between Minnesota Duluth's Samantha Rivard and Northern State's Sasha Hovind. But in the end, it was Hovind who would cross the finish line first. She had a time of 21:19:75, and afterward she talked about how she was both mentally and physically prepared for the last leg of that race.
Once we got through about the halfway, I just really pushed it, and our coach had us have mental checkpoints. And once I got to the last one, I just knew I had to give everything I had, and I just came down that last hill into the finish, and I just gave it everything, and that was it.
Here's a look at the final team results. Augustana's men and women both take the top spot this year. Sioux Falls also came in second in both divisions. Now, despite each school having 48 points on the women's side, the Vikings won a tiebreaker based on individual times over the Cougars. MSU Moorhead, Minnesota State, and Minnesota Duluth round out 3, 4, and 5 on the men's side, while Winona State, UMary, and MSU Moorhead are 3, 4, and 5 on the women's side. Well, from one championship to another, the conference soccer tournament finished up this weekend. We'll work our way up to the championship on Sunday by starting with the quarterfinals. Number 1 Minnesota State hosted number 8 Bemidji State. 9th minute off the ricochet, Corey Cronforce gets the header to go. She took a tumble as well, but she would be okay, and the Mavs would be okay as well. That's all they would need in a 1-0 victory. They would face the winner of number 5 Minot State at number 4 Upper Iowa, and like the Mavs, the Peacocks would get things done early. Amy Ronsky finds an opening in just the 2nd minute. Great view from the net cam. Upper Iowa keeper Caitlin Emanuel had 6 saves on the afternoon, and the Peacocks topped the Beavers 1-0 as well. In the other part of the bracket, number 7 Minnesota Duluth was at number 2 Augustana. Bulldogs already up 1-0, but Ashley Limmers makes a great save for the Vikings, one of her 5 on the afternoon. But UMD's Marissa Rosa proved to be stronger. This is one of her 4 saves, but no goals allowed. The Bulldogs topped the Vikings in an upset, 1-0. Our last quarterfinal pit Southwest Minnesota State at Winona State on a very rainy field last Wednesday. 20th minute, Taylor Zarin gets it ahead to Katie Baker, who takes advantage of the misplay for the wide-open goal. Keeper Rachel Olison would do her part as well, notching 7 saves, and all 4 quarterfinal games end with a 1-0 final. So that set up the semifinal matchups in Mankato. Minnesota State, as the top remaining seed, hosted the rest of the tournament. The Mavericks took care of the Peacocks 1-0 on Friday, while Winona State topped Minnesota Duluth's potential Cinderella run 2-0. That set up a championship showdown and a rematch of the regular season finale between Winona State and Minnesota State. 23rd minute, Emily Morris with the corner kick, and Sydney Trotter gets the header. 1-0 Mavericks, and once again that'd be all they'd need. Keeper Molly McGough had 2 saves, and Minnesota State wins the conference championship 1-0.
We had to battle. We knew we'd get everybody's best, and that's how this team has been all year. They've been able to step up and win the big games, and I think it just shows the resiliency and the character that they have. So just super proud of them.
Well, with its conference title as well as a perfect record, Minnesota State receives the top seed in the central region of the NCAA tournament. 2 other NSIC teams also made the field of 48. Winona State is the 5th seed, and they will play 4th seed Southwest Baptist out of Missouri. The winner of that game will face the Mavericks in the 2nd round, so we could very well get a championship rematch just 1 week after the conference title game, which was 1 week after the regular season finale. Now, despite its first round loss, Augustana also made the final cut. They're the number 3 seed in the Central region and will face number 6 Central Oklahoma. The winner of that game faces number 2 seed Central Missouri. Well, the conference season may be over, but for some soccer players from another continent, it was one incredible ride. Marissa DiCandido has the story of 2 UMary soccer players whose love for the game has taken them to new heights above the pitch.
For almost every University of Mary women's soccer game at home, they're in the press box.
Oh, I mean, it was a dangerous...
That is, if they don't have a game themselves.
Unfortunately, you lost in the first round.
Johnny Sellers and Alexander Boys are on the Marauders men's soccer team, but when they're off the pitch, they're doing play-by-play for the women.
Sometimes we don't really talk about football as much, but what we do, we have a laugh.
Sellers and Boys started doing the broadcast last year just for fun.
She's always in the right place at the right time.
And now they have quite the following.
We post it up on social media, we get like Twitter and Facebook, like get everyone to watch, and it gets quite a lot of people watching. Like we've got people from England back home watching, some of the girls' parents are watching, and they all like to comment in, and like it's nice to have that interaction like with people from back home.
But it's good for the teams, like Mary's just getting all over the map these days.
They know the girls pretty well too, which makes for some fun conversations in the booth.
The men's and women's soccer team have a really good relationship. We're good friends with a lot of the girls, and I think it helps that we're close, and they actually enjoy us commentating as well. They always ask, oh, are you going to be doing it? And I think the parents really enjoy it.
You actually can't win the game without scoring, just in case you didn't know.
So with that success, the question is, would they consider a career in broadcasting?
I used to want to be a commentator when I was a little kid, but so then when I got to this, it was such a good opportunity just to talk and just talk rubbish and have a laugh, and then also watch football, which is our favourite sport anyway. So I get the best of both worlds, I guess, really.
And you can tell the guys love what they're doing when you hear them on the broadcast.
To the fans, to all you listening back home,
this is big news. So just take
this is adorable. This is adorable.
When we come back, quarterfinals in the conference volleyball tournament started Tuesday night. See if the top-seeded Bulldogs from Minnesota Duluth could avoid a potential upset next.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. 2 conference tournaments down and 1 to go in our marathon of championships this week. The NSIC volleyball quarterfinals got underway yesterday. We'll start in Duluth where the top-seeded Bulldogs were facing the 8 seed from Sioux Falls. Cougars prime for an upset. We're in the deciding 5th set, but Monica Turner sets up Mariah Scharf for the kill, and if it works once, why not do it again? Turner to Scharf, the Bulldogs are taking control. USF would try and keep it close. Michelle Ritland gets the kill here, but UMD would not be denied. This time it's Maddie Soroin with the kill, and the Bulldogs win set 5, 15-6, and take a close match, 3-2. They would face the winner of Winona State and Southwest Minnesota State. First set, the Mustangs' Sarah Parker with the hammer, one of her 7 kills on the night. Back come the Warriors, Danielle Rampart with the big kill for Winona State. But SMSU would be too much. Kenzie Beekman with one of her game-high 14 kills, and the Mustangs sweep the Warriors 3-0. Second seed Concordia St. Paul hosting Minnesota State. First set, Riley Hansen sets up Emma Lang for the kill, and the Golden Bears have an early lead. Back come the Mavericks. Persistence pays off for Krista Hassing, one of her 14 kills. Minnesota State took set 2, but that would be it. Casey Williams sets up Hansen later in the match. Concordia St. Paul tops Minnesota State 3-1. In our last semifinal matchup, number 3 Wayne State topped the 6th seed Northern State. So here's a look at the Final 4. All matches will be held in Duluth since UMD is the highest remaining seed. On Friday, the Bulldogs will face Southwest Minnesota State, while Concordia St. Paul will take on Wayne State. The winners of those matches will face off in the conference championship on Saturday afternoon. Well, Minnesota State Moorhead didn't qualify for the conference tournament, but the camaraderie among the girls bonded them all season long. And as our Dragons correspondent Kenny Buck explains, one player in particular brought a unique family atmosphere to the court.
Digs, sets, and kills are the 3 most important aspects to volleyball victories. But the teamwork and continuity it takes from every athlete on the team trumps everything. treating each teammate like they were a sister, or perhaps even a twin. Just ask MSUM volleyball player Sam Sullivan. She's had 2 teammates since the day she was born.
I am identical with one of my sisters, and then the other one's fraternal. Jenna and Nicole are the other 2 triplets, and then my older sister's name is Amanda.
Growing up as one sister in a trilogy of Sullivans, she knows the true meaning of unity and what it means to look out for one another.
Being able to have sisters in general is just great, you know, always having a friend, always having someone there for you. I think just having the 2 of them be the same age as me is just taking it to a whole nother level.
Sullivan, now a senior, has found that all the work she put in with her triplets has translated to winning games for the Dragons.
Working together as a group just to, you know, get to that goal that you have as a team, having each other's backs out there when you're on the court or even in practice, that's a big part of being a team, you know, having each other's back. And so that's something I definitely learned from having sisters is, you know, being able to, you know, be there for your teammates and then being there for you at the same time.
Volleyball's foundation is based on a good dig, a soft set, and a thunderous kill. Maybe this is why Sullivan has taken to volleyball so well. Good things always come in threes.
Well, from the court to the field, we're down to the final week of football with several teams jockeying for playoff position. We'll start in the South, where, as we mentioned last week, Sioux Falls is possibly in danger of missing the playoffs. Cougars couldn't afford any letdowns at home Saturday against Upper Iowa, and they knew it. Second quarter, Luke Papillion to Nick Stanky, 21 yards, 10-0 USF. Later in the second, Papillion to Brady Rose, 12-yard strike makes it 17-0. Nephi Garcia would plunge in from 1 yard out. Cougars led 38-0 in the third quarter, and they take care of the Peacocks 45-21. The other Sioux Falls team, Augustana, visited Concordia St. Paul. No score in the second. Trey Spears stopped at the line but cuts left and finds a lane. 7-0 Golden Bears. 10-0 in the fourth when Augie tries to fight back. Chase Marzo to Matt Gary, 14 yards, cuts it to 10-7. Later in the fourth, Spears finds more room for his run and more room for his team. 14 yards increases the lead to 17-7. Late in the fourth, Augie trying to make it a one-score game again. It looks like Gary has a touchdown, but the ball is ripped away for an interception by Jordan Newsma. A fantastic play for the Golden Bears, and Concordia St. Paul tops Augustana 17-7. Minnesota State looking to move to 10-0 at Wayne State. This Connor Thomas run makes it 7-0, but the biggest runs would belong to Nick Piracini. The quarterback goes 30 yards here on the read option, 21-0 Mavericks. Then in the third, Piracini spins away from the defender and gets in from 13 yards. He had 3 rushing touchdowns as the Mavs top the Wildcats 49-0. Our closest game in the South Division pits Southwest Minnesota State at Winona State. First offensive play from scrimmage, the Warriors' Jack Nelson finds Anthony Resnick on the screen, and he does the rest. Eluding tacklers, cutting back inside, taking it all the way. 45 yards, 7-0 Winona State. They're up 21-13 when SMSU's Tyler Tonderum gets in from 4 yards out. He would add this 1-yard score in the fourth, and the Mustangs have a 39-28 lead. Josh Mikas would add a long 70-yard touchdown late in the fourth for the Warriors, but the Winona State comeback could not be completed. SMSU tops Winona State 39-34. When we come back, we'll head to the North Division to see if Minnesota Duluth could match Minnesota State and move to 10-0.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. Ever since a narrow 23-22 overtime victory over Augustana back in Week 2, Minnesota Duluth has won 6 of its past 7 football games by double digits. Bulldogs looking to keep momentum going in its home finale against UMary. First quarter, Bo Bofferding finds some room off the right side, 3-yard touchdown, 8-0 UMD. Back comes UMary, a fake field goal on 4th and goal. Ben Jala finds Zach Podol for the score, cutting things to 8-7. More great plays later from Duluth. Drew Bauer tries the run, but he backs up, reverses field, and finds a wide-open Justin Folks, and he does the rest. 57 yards to the house, Bulldogs take a 15-7 lead. Still in the first quarter, and the magic has just begun. Another trick play. This time a fake punt run from Andrew Breeze, 22 yards to midfield. That would set up another Boffording touchdown, 21-7 at that point, and the Bulldogs win a shootout 53-35. In other North Division action, Northern State hosted Minnesota Crookston. Wolves up 21-6 in the second and looking for more. Jared Jacobson fumbles the snap, but still gets it off to Zach Barber, who does the rest. 24 yards makes it 28-6 Northern. Later in the second, Jacobson goes up top and finds Nathan Mangan, 12-yard strike, and it's 35-6. Then just before halftime, Jacobson keeps it himself on the 2-yard run, 42-6 at the break, and the Wolves top the Golden Eagles 62-13. St. Cloud State looking to put together a winning streak at Minot State. Nate Meyer with the throwback screen to Merriam Starlin, and he goes up the left sideline, 26 yards, 10-0 Huskies. Second quarter, Husky D stepping up as Bryce Broom sweeps in for the interception. That would lead to this short Nate Meyer score, and the Huskies top the Beavers 27-14. The other Beaver team, Bemidji State, hoping for better luck against Minnesota State Moorhead in the game for the Battle Axe. First quarter, Tahi Nomain. Extra effort, 7-0 Bemidji State right as the snow starts. Second quarter, Zane Medhog gets the option, 1-yard score, and we're tied at 7. Third quarter, Demetrius Carr decides to keep it himself, 7-yard run and a 7-point lead for the Dragons. They're up 20-14 when Medhog gets the pitch and no one's gonna catch him. 68 yards up the left sideline, he had an 85-yard touchdown as well, 27-14 Dragons. Late fourth, Jordan Hine finds Brady Schmidt 20 yards away, cutting the lead to 6. Beavers with a chance for the winning score late in the game, but Hines' pass to the end zone is picked off by Abe Rorich, and the Battle Axe stays with Moorhead, 27-21, the final. Well, as we mentioned earlier in this show, Sioux Falls was on the outside looking in last week, and unfortunately for Cougar fans, nothing has changed this week. USF remains 7th in the Super Region 3 rankings. Remember, only the top 6 teams get into the playoffs. The only thing the Cougars can do is win this weekend against the Wildcats and hope for the best. When we come back, our Under the Northern Sun feature spotlights Bemidji State.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. As we do every week, it's time for Under the Northern Sun, where we spotlight one of our member schools. Tonight, it's Bemidji State University, where the outdoor atmosphere adds something unique to the student experience.
Welcome to Bemidji State University. We are a center for innovation and excellence in northern Minnesota and an essential partner in the region's economic vitality and quality of life. Our 5,000 students thrive on a friendly lakeside campus with a century of tradition and unmatched access to outdoor recreation. Our superb faculty, small classes, and real-world learning enrich highly relevant majors in the arts, sciences, and professions, both on campus and online. Students gain multicultural awareness, respect for the earth, and an appreciation of what it means to be a citizen. Bemidji State graduates are ready to succeed, to lead and to serve in a changing world. They say the choice to attend BSU was one of their best decisions ever.
When we come back, it's DB's Picks, my top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, it's time for the best of the best, the top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC. At number 5, we head to Mankato, where Minnesota State is once again ahead above the rest. This header from Sidney Trotter gave the Mavericks a 1-0 lead in the conference championship, and that's all they would need. Minnesota State topped Winona State to maintain its perfect season and be crowned NSIC champions. At number 4, we head to Duluth, where UMary pulls off the fake field goal. On 4th and goal, Ben Jolliffe rolls out and finds Zach Podol for the score. Check it out again. The Marauders would eventually fall to Minnesota Duluth 53-35, but a very real and very spectacular fake checks in at number 4 of my top 5. For number 3, we go to Winona, where Anthony Resnick is the weaving warrior. He takes the screen from Jack Nelson and maneuvers his way around tacklers, cuts back inside, and heads toward the end zone. This 45-yard score gave Winona State an early lead, and while the Warriors eventually lost to Southwest Minnesota State, this play from jersey number 3 checks in at number 3. For number 2, we go north to St. Paul, where Jordan Newsma makes the play of the game, ripping this touchdown away from Augustana's Matt Gary to preserve a Concordia St. Paul victory. Check it out one more time. Newsma just wrestles it away from Gary on the way down, kind of similar to that Seattle Green Bay Fail Mary, only this time the interception counts. The Golden Bears would top the Vikings 17-7 thanks to this play at number 2, which kept it a 2-score game. But for number 1, we go back to Duluth, where just like Jack Bauer, Drew Bauer is eluding all the bad guys and getting things done. The Bulldog QB stops in his tracks, reverses field, and finds Justin Folks wide open for a 57-yard touchdown. UMD moves to 10-0 with its win over UMary, keeping themselves firmly atop the North Division standings with the top play of the past week. For all of us at Midcoast Sports Network, I'm David Brown, and we'll see you next week on The Experience.